Hey, you notice anything different about me?
Your hair's in a ponytail.
Yeah, my hair's in a ponytail.
Ooh, there's a countdown now.
There is a countdown. Where'd the countdown come from?
I'm a backup recording.
Oh.
Ooh.
Nice. Oh, my allergies are just... I might sneeze a lot during the show today.
Oh, cool.
You're live.
I am live. Yeah, I rode my scooter here. Basically, if it's nice out, I'm going to ride my scooter. And, boy, there's something in the air in Omaha. It's been messing with my allergies the last couple of days.
Yeah.
It's been rough.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, like when we go fishing, there's that tall grass and it has those little seedlings on the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
I know that those things give me. I bet you. Remember when we went biking and I got an allergic reaction to something down at your house?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's from that grass.
Mm.
Because every time we walk through it and to get to our spot, I'm devastated for at least 5 minutes or so, just sneezing and blowing my nose.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna get right into it because we got a summer series race last week to talk about, and we can talk about this weekend if you want. Anything new coming out? I'm gonna open up a Kickstart. Hang on.
No, not that I can think of. I don't know.
The mini JRX2s came out.
Yeah, I saw that.
So if you're in the western Iowa, Nebraska, northern Kansas, southern South Dakota, I guess we could even lump in southwest Minnesota, just as a general area.
Mm-hmm.
Come buy JRX2s from us because I ordered 48 of them. I ordered a lot.
Can you buy them online, like through e-commerce?
You can get them on hobbytown.com, but it won't come from our store.
Oh,
It doesn't work like that anymore.
that's too bad.
But yeah, I ordered 48 of them, thinking that they were going to be hot cakes. I still think they are. I just think that we sold 6 that I know of as of Sunday.
Yeah. Well, at least you're all stocked up for Christmas.
That's true. Well, they'll be gone before Christmas.
Yeah.
I think so.
Usually now is like the holiday early buy, isn't it?
No, they haven't done any of those yet. But it's getting close, I think. Eric Jarman, one of our Patreon members, he actually bought 3 of them, one of each color.
Nice.
Yeah. So
That's pretty cool.
that was pretty cool. I still need to get mine.
You're
What were you gonna say?
one of each color.
Yeah. I think my plan was to never open the red one, play with the blue one, and display the black one. I think that was my plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why the red one?
Well, the red one's the original color,
Oh yeah.
so I kind of keep that one in the box. The black one, my first race car was a JRX Pro.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I love it when it's cold. Oh, it's so good. I brought a can of ice because I knew that my Kickstart was going to be warm because it's so hot out today.
Yeah.
I built my my DR10M. I just need to get electronics for it now. And
There you go.
I think I'm going to break down and get a DRK ESC.
It's a DRK.
It's the McLaren speed controller where it's got like a launch control, so you can really dial in its acceleration.
You just pull it and it runs its program pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And so I got to save up for that, and I need a new motor anyways. So
How much is that speed control?
$239 for the new one. We've got the old ones for $199. I marked them down to $199, but the new ones have the Tim Smith programming in it, I guess.
Do you have to? Does it come? Do you have to use a laptop with that, or can you use a programming card?
Either or.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Does the programming card have the same features as the laptop?
I think so. I think it's Bluetooth.
Hmm.
Pretty sure. So you can like download the app on your phone and do it.
Oh, that's cool.
I think that's how that works.
Yeah.
I just kind of want
I
to learn
think-
how to do it too. That's another reason why.
Yeah, I bet the plug-in method is going to be a way, like without using your phone, is going to be a thing of the past. I bet.
I
Willing to
agree.
bet.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I need to get the Hobby Wing Bluetooth thing for all my off-road ESCs.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's been a while. We obviously last Monday was our Monday off because it was the first Monday of the month, and even though I don't have the Monday meetings anymore. Honestly, it's just nice to have a Monday off every once in a while.
Oh, you don't have the Monday meetings no more?
No,
I didn't know that.
no,
That's cool.
they're actually Wednesdays now.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Nice.
I did interview my dad. I told everybody that. So last Monday, I actually drove to Jefferson, Iowa, which is like 2 hours. Then picked him up. Then drove him back here, and then the intent was to like take him out to eat and then do the interview. But we were kind of running late. I woke up an hour late, as always. So then we did the interview. So then I was going to take him out to eat anyways. Well, then he's like, nah, I don't really need anything to eat. So then we started driving. We kept going back and forth as to whether or not we're going to get something to eat or not. And we ended up not doing it. So it was 8 hours of driving because it was 2 hours there, 2 hours back, 2 hours for the interview, 2.5 hours, then 2 hours there, and then 2 hours back for me again.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just like to thank, I actually mean this too, I would like to thank our Patreon members because I used some of the internet money to pay for the gas.
Nice.
And I won't be doing that for a while again.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was tough. That was a lot of driving in one day.
Mm-hmm.
Worth it though. Worth it.
Yeah.
The interview will be out on Patreon soon. You guys are going to get it for 30 days. So if you're not a Patreon member and you want to get in, listen to what my dad says on the Father's Day Patreon special, get on Patreon and give us some money. Right?
Right. Internet money.
Internet money. Hey, did you know that this show is sponsored by Pivot Lending Group?
Really?
Yeah. And if you mention our show to Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad at Pivot Lending, and then you get through a home loan or refinance, you can get $500 letter credit or 0.125 off your interest rate just for listening to our show. And you better hurry.
Yeah, you gotta lock in that rate.
Yeah.
Or is it like the buy now or rate now, buy later, or something like that?
Yeah.
Get a rate.
Shop and lock.
Yeah.
Lock and shop. Lock and shop.
Gonna shop mad locks.
Yeah. I'm before we get into race results, from the last couple of weeks or so, I just want to share. I'm a little nervous with the next couple of years for us, for not for the store, but just for our the racing scene in general, the RC racing scene as a whole.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about.
Oh, really?
Because I think people had gotten so used to traveling long distances. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but when I was a kid, I didn't think twice about going 2 hours to a race every week.
Yeah. Well, like you could go to a race for like $12. That's probably what it costs to fill the tank up. 12-gallon tank. How much was gas when we went to Virginia? Was it this much?
No, it was under $3 when we went, and I thought that was a lot.
Yeah.
It was like $2.99, $2.89.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got lucky.
Yeah. A few months later,
It would have been twice as much to go.
Yeah.
So in the past, I remember Ernie Pervetti had either written something about this or said something at a conference or something like an RC, like maybe one of the hobby trade shows or whatever. But generally speaking, industries like the RC hobby industry or the hobby industry in general usually do pretty good during recessions because instead of people going out and spending shit tons of money on real cars, boats, stuff that's even more expensive, in order to keep doing something, they discover a hobby. So in the past, during recessions like the 91, I think this was even talked about back then, like the 91 recession, the 98, I think 2008.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we did okay at the Plex, 2007, 2008. Granted, we're in Nebraska, and we didn't really get hit very hard, but the only time that it got weird at our store was right around 2015 and 16, and that wasn't a recession. That was just this massive exodus of brick and mortar places, and the internet sort of, in my opinion, reaching a peak of sales. Once they passed the law where you had to pay sales tax, just like everybody else, I think it kind of swung back the other direction. So, you know, I think we'll be okay. But the racing scene in general, like I hope what happens is that we're able to expand our local base even more than we already have, and people find a cheap way to. Well, RC's not really cheap, but like generally speaking, among other different things that you could be blowing money on, RC's not terrible, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But once you have everything, racing can be a cheap form to spend time with your son or your daughter or your entire family on a Friday or Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as opposed to, you know, our summer series. I mean, our summer series is a good split. I'd say it's about half local, half out of town.
Mm-hmm.
And if gas gets to a certain point, I do feel it'll be tougher for people to want to race, to want to spend that money, you know?
No, I believe. Yeah. I mean, even our club racing scene. I bet that kind of takes a little bit of a hit.
Well, and then
Yeah.
look at I bet you Hobby Haven. I bet you Hobby Haven's local club scene starts to get really big again.
Yeah.
Because a lot of Des Moines guys that love coming to the Plex, I know they do. I can almost sense that they're looking for an alternative.
Yeah.
When it comes to the travel money, the travel time, and the money it takes to get to us, because they do live 2 hours away.
Yeah. I mean, if you drive a car that gets 20 miles to the gallon, like that's like $120 to drive from Omaha to Des Moines.
Yeah.
Probably, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Like I'm going to to announce the race at Emory Park.
Mm-hmm.
And Gretchen and I already talked about it, and I begged her, I'm like, can I please take your car? Because her car gets, twice as much gas mileage as mine. And if you drive it smart, it gets even more, you know? And she begrudgingly said yes. So I should be okay there.
Yeah.
But, I hope, I hope it doesn't get too bad. I feel like we're going to be in a very weird spot over the next couple years.
I think so too.
I don't think it's going to get any better.
No.
But, like I said, the hobby industry generally does good during downtimes and recessions. So, I think we just need to hunker down. You know, that's what it's weird. Like I keep saying that, and then I keep finding ways to buy new cars, like a B6.4.
Yeah. Yep.
But I actually I broke even on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I sold my old car. I got the RB10. This is from Steve. So Steve Arcine, another Patreon member, Steve Eichler. I had last summer series race. I was pretty frustrated with my car for some reason. And then all of a sudden it started working good. So I don't know. Who knows? But anyways, could have been just tires. Maybe the tire choice. I did change tires. Anyways, none of that matters. But I was like, you know what? All right, you know what? I think I'm gonna sell my B63. Who wants dibs on a B63? And we worked it out where he got my B63. He gave me cash, and then I got his RB10. So now I have my enduro car for October that I wanted to get. So I don't have to spend money on that. And then I sold some other stuff, and I ended up. Nothing came really out of pocket, I guess. It was recycled RC money. So it worked out fine.
Nice.
I made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But yeah, anyways, I just know that gas sucks right now.
Oh yeah. No, that's probably the most expensive part of going to these races is the fuel.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I'm pretty stoked about my scooter this week. I think I can ride my scooter every single day.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain here tomorrow, but I don't know when. Or when we're done with the podcast, I'm gonna look. And
It's supposed to be at night.
is it?
Mm-hmm.
I might be able to ride tomorrow.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. I really have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Hurry up.
Sorry.
No pressure or anything. All right. Well, while he's out, there was Steve RC's in the chat, and he says, "What's the M in DR10M?" So the DR10M is a mid-motor drag car. So the original DR10 was basically an RB10 that was stretched. And actually, I think the RB10 came afterwards. So the DR10 came first, and it kind of recycled a lot of B5 parts, right? At least that's what it looks like to me. And then they came out with like the SR10 oval car, the RB10 off-road car, and so a lot of the hop-ups from one to the other work around too. So for the RB10, I got the adjustable rear pills, so I can adjust the caster and toe and all that on the car. And then I got a front bulkhead in aluminum and an aluminum steering part and steering racks. So I will be doing a YouTube video on how to make an RB10 survive 1,000 laps, I think is what I'm going to call it, or something like that. So I'm pretty excited about that. I was going to start working on it today, but my wife and I both had the day off, and that means that we got stuff to do. So we went shopping for some reason, and we have our nephew with us, so we took him to Cabela's, then we took him to Shields, and I got to watch her buy shorts. That was fun. That's married life for you. So there you go. Margie, you on here?
Yeah.
So what did you think of my Obi-Wan Kenobi discussion that we were having before the show taped?
You make very good points.
Should you have recorded that?
Yes. I was thinking right as I sat down, yes, I wish I'd have recorded that. It could have been an exclusive for your Patreon.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I'm pretty much done with Disney Plus at this point. And I think I mean it this time.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you got to trim finances, why would you give money to a streaming service that's just, other than one show, The Mandalorian, has produced nothing but on the Star Wars side at least, has produced not much good stuff.
Sure.
You know?
No, that makes the case. Yeah.
Then on the other hand, I'm torn because Loki was good.
Yes.
I thought Hawkeye was all right.
WandaVision was awesome.
WandaVision was great. I know some people don't like WandaVision like that. I think the 3 episodes they opened with threw people off.
That's
on
the
WandaVision.
Point. That is the point.
Yeah, but I really like WandaVision a lot. If you stuck with it, it is a really good show. So the Marvel stuff's been good for the most part. Mm-hmm. The Star Wars stuff has just been, so bad.
I am much more forgiving in my Star Wars enjoyment, but I'm also not like a super fan. Like I haven't seen Clone Wars, and I haven't. So like most of the story points, especially a lot of the ones that you made, go right over my head.
Oh, well,
I'll get there.
I feel like we're getting Last Jedi'd again.
Yeah.
With this Obi-Wan show.
I can see some repurposing of
and
story.
What made me mad about the whole sequel trilogy more than anything is the wasted opportunity to have Leia, Luke, and Han Solo together. That they wasted those 3 actors and the 3 characters of Leia, Han Solo, and Luke Skywalker. They wasted it. We'll never get that back. Carrie Fisher's gone. She's dead.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. You can't never get that back. So they wasted an opportunity there to utilize those characters the way that they should have been. And there's a meme of Mickey Mouse giving 2 fingers That's what I feel like happens every single time that I watch a sequel movie. It's almost like The Force Awakens starts off like half, just like this, with like a forward fist, and then The Last Jedi, the button gets pushed, and then with the Rise of Skywalker, both of them are out, just right in your face, just yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I know what you're saying. What?
Nothing. I was just telling my sister. We were talking about my rant that I had earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. You want to get into racing? Let's get into racing. We got
Sure.
Emerson and I want to go fishing tonight, and I got to be home by 8:30, so we're gonna have to bust through this one.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's start Summer Series racing since we missed it last week because we were off. Let me get into Live RC here. LiveRC.com. Yeah. Wonder what it's like to be Brandon.
Right.
Knowing that like almost all of RC car racing revolves around his product.
Must be pretty sweet.
Don't you think? Like everybody uses the lap time pictures when they're doing the race reports.
Mm-hmm.
You know, here's my consistency, here's my laps, all
Yeah.
that stuff. Where would we be without Live RC
I don't know.
in RC car racing? I don't think. I mean,
taking pictures of heat sheets and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. But it wouldn't be as slick.
Yeah.
And then you got, Corey Kroll, he's like a genius. Results from other events. All right, let's go. Team Associated Summer Series. So, 202 entries, 103 people. I believe that's our third or fourth biggest Summer Series ever. So round one of this year was the biggest. And then I remember that in 2016, the two Summer Series races that we had before the Nats,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when we hit like 208 on one of them and 20 something on the other one.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go back and look, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
But,
no, why would you?
200 is a lot, but it's perfect. It's such a cool vibe when we
Mhm.
have a Summer Series race now.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know. I know I get kind of sentimental about this stuff, and I say this a lot, but back in 2005 when I was trying to think up how to jumpstart the local off-road scene and what to call things, Plex Spec was something that just kind of, it's like one of those moments where you're sitting there writing stuff down and you're like, Plex Spec.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good name. And then we just use it, and now it's just kind of a thing for us.
Mm-hmm.
The Summer Series is pretty generic, but nobody had ever done that in our area before.
Right.
Nobody. And now look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing for the Winter Series.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. This is just super cool to have this once a month.
I think so.
Speaking of Plex Spec, we had, and this was one of the videos that I was able to get. My phone was super low, and I videoed all the live streaming lower mains, but then I also made sure to have Plex Spec in the live stream because I think we always take a break after Plex Spec and blow the track off one more time.
Mm-hmm.
So Plex Spec A main had Ryan Nemec taking the win, Ariana Smith from the 7th position up to 2nd, and then Grayson Stevie 3rd. And Sawyer Haley, also Jason's kid, also had a great run from 8th to 4th. Isabella McMullen from the bump to 5th. Levi Voth from the bump to 6th. And then Bentley Raddy. Boy, I screwed that one up. Lily, your TQ. Boy, Ryan had the whole shot on her. Like Lily kind of went a little wide, right, around the very first corner, and Ryan shot to the inside and shot to the next corner, and they touched, and Lily kind of spun out, and Ryan was just like, well, see ya, and took off. And poor Lily just got hammered back there for a majority of this race. I felt really bad
Bummer.
because she did a really good job of being TQ. But, she got the TQ point, so it's really only a 7th instead of an 8th. Alex Eichler was kind of right there with her. He qualified really well, but finished 9th. And then Ryan Cox was out a little early. So, but boy, Ryan did a great job of getting out front. Behind Ryan for position was just a jumbled mess, and that's why you get an 8 and a 9 in the top 5. And as we've said, so that's the second winner. So we've had 2 winners now. So Grayson won round 1, Ryan won round 2. Neither of them were TQ. So you've got these massive 10 amount of cars, 10 kids that honestly any one of these kiddos could win every week.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be cool to see what they can do with the next one. Especially because a lot of these guys are going to run independent buggy at the J Concepts race. So some of these guys are going to have an experience of a big race underneath their belts when they go into the 3rd round in July.
Yeah. Yep.
Stadium Truck was next, and another TQ and a win. It wasn't necessarily easy this time, though.
Yeah, Nate and I had a pretty good race. Going up the uphill quad, I jumped into the pipe, and I saved it. I didn't need a marshal, but got around me. And then after that, I kind of reeled him back in and fall. I don't think I touched him at all.
You made a sweet pass.
I pushed him around for like at least 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Just right on his bumper, and he blew a corner, and I went through.
You made a pretty sweet pass on him.
Nate
it was one of those ones where I wish I could have gotten video of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I just didn't have I didn't have anybody to video for me this week, and plus, I need to figure out a way to do that differently because if I use my phone to video each race, well, now I need my phone back right away so we can take pictures, and it slows the whole program down. So I'm gonna have to figure out something for that. I might just get another webcam. We're gonna start using a second computer as a race vision computer for those things. So I might use that second computer as the OBS broadcasting as well.
Yeah,
I think that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully, that computer's so slow though. I'm afraid I'm gonna freeze it up.
Yeah. If anybody got that pass on video, please send it.
Yeah. Nate still got second. Brian Burnt got a top 3. Last year's truck champ. Logan Prismanis was 4th. Emerson just cannot get a good qualifier in from the 7 to the 5. Dustin Hosick with a 6th. Tyler Fleming 7th. Bo Hall was 8th. Andrew Thomas was 9th. And Tommy, he got in a weird spot. And I talked to him afterwards. He wasn't mad. He just didn't have the time. He was trying to run 4 classes. And so he was way back there like in 9th and 10th after about a 20-second marshal. That he just sort of pulled it off and went and got his 40-plus car ready to go.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's too bad.
I don't think Tommy really gets mad. I haven't seen him mad yet.
I've never seen him angry.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, he's always just like, I'm going to have a bubbler. I'm gonna have a fizzy
I don't even think he got mad when we were kids. I don't know if Tommy ever got mad when we were kids either. I think Dennis Johnson used to get mad for him.
Yeah. I'm gonna move on from this one and have a fizzy bubbler. Right?
Yeah,
that's like Tommy Smith. That's my impression of Tommy Smith. Like, I don't know, man. I'm just gonna have a fizzy bubbler after this one. And go on the next one. I love Tommy. He's fun.
Yeah, no kidding. We're going to talk about him again here in a little bit. Alex Vanderbeek with the TQ and win in mod 4-wheel drive. He did not lead the whole thing. Ethan Dallaire actually led a couple laps. Or no, I think it was Drew. Drew Rubin King led a couple laps.
Yeah.
Drew was really fast this day. He just had some kind of crappy luck.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened to him. I heard it, but I know he saw it off a rear arm, but I think it was like in the straightaway. Like,
yeah, I think he caught the inside pipe on the straightaway at full speed.
Yeah.
And caught it there. I think
Damn.
that's something I'm definitely going to look at. So I know that the track change coming up, I'm really going to look at some of these connections too and make sure that there is no, at least when we start racing, that the seam isn't totally exposed in a really bad area.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot you can do about it if people start hitting an edge and it starts to peel off.
Yeah.
Like you can go with a knife and cut it a little bit, but then you lose that joint. So
Right.
we'll see what it looks like. If you turn the pipe, what I try to do on straightaways especially, and sometimes unfortunately it just doesn't work this way, but you try to turn the pipe so that the flow goes with the cars. So we'll definitely try to fix that. Mason Herrick got a solid top 3. He just keeps plugging in those top 3s, top 2s. Aiden Olson didn't have a great day in four-wheel drive qualifying, but ended up 4th. Ethan Delaire, 5th. Owen Vanderbeek moved up a few spots. Caden Berding got the bump and moved up. Tom Smith got the bump and moved up. Mitchell was 9th. Ruben King, unfortunately, after 7 laps, was out with a broken car. 40 Plus Mod was up after that. And after struggling early with my stuff, I went to a different set of tires for qualifier round 2. And I was a lot more comfortable with my car.
Yeah, I tried to run slicks in round 1 of Mod 2 wheel.
Oh, really?
And yeah, or I mean slicked out stuff like this.
Sure.
And it wasn't any good.
Yeah.
And so I went to something with a little more tread on it, and it was a lot better.
Well, I came in with 2 different sets of tires. They were both about the same height. It's just one was like a week and a half older than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I used the newer pair first, and I didn't feel comfortable with my car at all. I mean, I was still putting down pretty good laps, but it felt a little loose. And then so I went to the older set of tires for round 2 that still had plenty of tread on them, and they were money. And then I'm like, well, I'm not touching this time at all.
Yeah.
I made that mistake before. So I left them on here, and I don't know. I made a mistake, and Tommy got around me, and Tommy and I were following each other pretty good for a little while. I think even earlier than that, if I remember right, Mac and I were nose to tail. He overjumped the double before the crossover. We were basically side by side, and he overjumped it. So when I landed and I started to turn, he landed on top of my car and flipped off and needed a marshal. And that really sucked for him. I'm not gonna lie. I was up on this driver's stand going, oh no, darn it. But then Tommy, he got around us both, and followed him. I even ran into him. I saw an opening, and I gunned it, and then he cut me off, and blocked it out, and I ran right in the back of him. But then he made a mistake over that same double, and I was able to get around him, and then from there I just chilled and made sure I didn't do anything stupid. And Mac and Tommy had a what's that called? A photo finish?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Tommy finished with 23,809.6, and Mac finished with 23,809.8. Yeah. And then it didn't help that Tommy got his one missed lap. So Tom Smith's car, for whatever reason, misses almost one lap every single race, and it's random.
Yeah.
It just happens. And it even happened at Adrenaline RC. So it's not my system. It's something in his car, his transponder. We haven't figured it out yet, but he basically misses a lap almost every single time, and so it was showing him in like 8th place, but he was actually in 2nd. So Tom got 2nd, Matt got 3rd, Ken Peterson from 7 to 4, Brent Riley was 5th, David Peeler was 6th, Brian Cox was 7th, Brian Burnt was 8th, John Berding was 9th, and David Fast was 10th. It's kind of funny. There's 1, 2, 3. Well, I guess you can't really say 40 plus, but basically Brian Cox and Brian Burnt are previous Mod 2 wheel drive Summer Series champs. from like 2006 and 7 when we were outside on the big old track.
Mhm.
And then you count me, and then Mac is a 40 plus champ. So you had 4 different Summer Series champs. Actually, Peevler, I think Peevler won Stock Buggy one year, right? Didn't he get a poster? I think he did.
Stock Buggy or 13.5. I know he won one.
Yeah, you're right. I'll have to talk to him. And then David Fast, I think he won E-Buggy one year at the Winter Series.
Did he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's got a poster. I remember it.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I think
That's cool.
so you got a whole bunch of Summer Series champs in 40 plus mod.
Someday I'll be in there.
What is it? 8 more years?
Yeah.
7?
Yeah, 8.
Oh, 8? Okay.
Yeah. So you'll probably change it to 41 plus.
Yeah. Yep.
At that point.
Independent Buggy, we ran a little bit earlier than normal. Daniel Bender with a TQ and win. Daniel and I think TJ led most of this race. This is another one of those I wish I had on video for this week. I just, unfortunately, I'm going to have to figure that out. But TJ led almost all this race, and Bender got around him on the last lap.
No, really?
Yeah. So TJ Williams did get second. Connor Hausch from the 5th to the 3rd spot. And then Poteet. John Haas with a great finish from the bump to 5th. Stevie was 6th. Andrew Thomas from the bump to 7. Logan Prismanis was 8th. Trevor Moss was 9th. And Jana Peevler was 10th. So pretty good job for Daniel. Sticking with it. Mod 2-wheel drive. This one was, I don't know. I don't remember a whole lot about it other than Ethan Dallaire just sort of working his way to the top.
Yeah.
And then Alex, I think, had to do the same thing. Alex dropped back really early. And I believe, who is that? Mason Herrick led a majority of this race, but he only finished 4th. So Ethan Dallaire got a win. Vanderbeek got a TQ in 2nd, so Ethan and Alex actually tied for points for the week. Ruben King from the 5 to the 3. Mason Herrick dropped to the 4. Riley Filbert from the 9 to the 5. You finished from the 8 to the 6. Aiden Olson was 7th. Owen Vanderbeek was the high qualifier, but unfortunately dropped down to the 8th spot. Mitchell Pavel was 9th, and Tommy was 10th. Tom Smith. He got the bump and then finished 10th. You were up there, weren't you? I remember that.
Yeah, I was up to 3rd.
I think on one lap, I think you went from like 3rd to 6th.
Yeah. And I ran into it was Mason Herrick when his car was flipped over, and whoever was marshaling that corner, it's like when they grabbed his car, it's like they held it in front of mine, and I ran into his car while they were marshaling his car. I was like, God, I'm never gonna get a podium this year, I guess. We'll see.
I know what that's like. Remember 2017? That feels like forever ago, but it was only... Okay, it was forever ago. But I remember the year after I last won the Summer Series, I didn't make a single podium in 17.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being really butthurt about that.
I think I got a couple. That's all that year. Maybe one.
13.5, 4-wheel drive. This was a really good race for myself and for Tyler Patnaud. I got the TQ. My first race, my first qualifier, I had 99.8 consistency or something crazy like that.
Isn't that the best?
Like 99.6 or something. I'll have to look at it again, but it was really good.
Sometimes I'll do that with my 2-wheel, and then like a lot of the times I do that with my truck.
Yeah. But I laid down a pretty good time in the first round. And it was super consistent. Kind of did the same thing in the second qualifier. I don't think I crashed at all. I just, I didn't go as fast. Or maybe we did. I don't know. All I know is I had 99 point whatever consistency. I was super happy about that. So I got the TQ, and Cole Henriksen wasn't here. And I'm no offense to all the guys that made the A main at this one, but Cole's one of those in my head that I'm like, all right, that's one of my direct competition for this year in 13.5. Now that we ran the first one and I kind of know where I'm at, you know? So the fact that he wasn't there and I got the TQ, I'm like, okay, even if I get second in this one, like, or even third, I'll still have at least 99 points. So I just don't do anything stupid and waste it.
Yeah.
You know, like just get a third or better, and this is going to be a pretty good day for you no matter what. So I led half of this race, and then my car started getting wonky, and I think what had happened was my diff fluids heated up because it felt like my diff fluid got lighter throughout the course of the race, and my car started doing funny things in the corners.
Heated up and started breaking down.
I think so, and I can usually tell my mini truggy used to do the same thing, so I can usually tell when my techno cars needed. My 10 scale cars for sure needed maintenance. Like I probably should have maintenance my 4-wheel drive before this last weekend.
Oh yeah. If you're running gear diffs,
I didn't.
Inclined to change them before the main.
I know. I didn't do. Well, I don't have time to do that, so I just got to do it before the weekend and let everything work the way it is supposed to, you know. So I'm not making an excuse because I still could have drove good. And still could have probably finished in the lead if I just wouldn't have made this one mistake. But this one mistake turned into 2 or 3 mistakes trying to catch back up. But at the end, we only finished 0.8 of a second apart. I think Tyler was kind of laying up there on the last lap a little bit, just making sure he didn't do anything stupid.
Yeah.
So he got the win. I got a second. So I get 100 points. He's got 100 points if he makes the rest of them. I'm not sure if they're planning on that or not. They're from I think, Indiana or Illinois. Like Eastern Illinois.
I think it's Illinois.
Yeah, so that's a long haul, so it's not that I expect him to make all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Tyler Canine from the 8 to the 3. So we got the podium there. Chad Rubenking was 4th. Orlando Martinez from the bump to the 5. Bradley Peterson finished 6th. David was 7th. Daniel Bender made the main without any extra work, ended up 8th. Trevor Moss was 9th, and Easton McCormick finished 10th. So, not too shabby on my part. I mean, I kind of went into this year wanting to run 13.5 4-wheel drive and wanting to run 40-plus mod because that's what I was going to do at the INS.
Yeah.
And I wanted that competitive practice, basically, for the INS.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to truck at INS. Truck and buggy. I'm a truck and buggy man, you know?
Yeah. And I told Emerson, dude, I'm like, you need to work on your truck a little bit now. You can't just rely on that truck setup forever because it's going to get old and the fluids are going to need to be replaced and it's going to be up to you to make your tires good. And, you know, I'm trying to get him to do more on his own.
Yeah, he tried rolling out on the Silver Slicks.
His truck was fast. He just wrecked a lot.
Yeah. I was like, whew. I saw you did that. It's like, hope you can hang on to it.
Yeah. I think there's potential there with that. I think the contact patch is so big in truck that I think there's potential in that. But again, the track has got to be not as dusty.
Yeah. Well, I thought he was going to be onto something because we run truck with a freshly blown track.
Usually. Like
after the Pikes Peak A main.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. Might be pretty dang good.
But it's kind of the same deal. I mean, the INS race might be different, but it's kind of the same deal as you had mentioned in the Adrenaline RC video. You know, there's not a huge amount of discrepancy in skill level in the truck A main at the Summer Series.
Yeah.
But you got more trucks going out of line more than you would, say, probably at the A main or the INS, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's like I knew he did that, and I was like, I just need to get ahead of this because I think I got Nate by like 10 seconds at the end. And like once I had the lead, I was like, I just need to keep pushing, like, and unlock my inner Mayfield and just get out front to clean air. You know? And
you should have felt those tires after it was
mine
over.
or his?
His. There wasn't much left on those tires.
Oh, really? You could hold them up to the sun and see through them?
Basically, yeah. I remember I afterwards I was like, you went on the race with this? He's like, yeah, they were awesome. I'm like, okay.
You say so.
Whatever.
You raced that?
Mini Truggy had Logan Prismanis getting a TQ and a win. Tyler Fleming got second from the 4th spot, and John Haas once again finishes 3rd. Jake Poteet, your ProTech winner, finished 4th. Ronnie Went was 5th. Matt Robinson. Shout out to Matt Robinson for putting up all new lights inside the off-road track.
Oh, what a dear.
Looks really good, especially Friday nights. He finished 6th. Bryson Pavlo was 7th. Jason Haley was 8th. Kurt Benson was 9th. And Chad Irwin was 10th. And then expert stock, Riley Filbert was going really fast. He's figured out something with his car. Because he used the same car in mod. And finished mid-pack in the Mod A main. So, Riley, TQ and a win. Tyler Patnout was 2nd. And then my boy, Emerson Sturgeon, remembering how to run stock buggy from 5th to 3rd.
Nice.
And I was so nervous the last minute of this race. I was just like, come on, don't do anything dumb. Please.
Yeah, don't break it.
I was so happy when he came across in 3rd place. That's the highest he's finished in a stock buggy race since he stopped racing stock buggy, which was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Might even be longer. I'll have to look at the results, but basically he stopped running. He wanted to run mod, so he stopped running stock buggy and started running mod with us. And we just got to get that car a little bit more rip. It just doesn't have the same rip as everybody else does. I got to get that figured out. I think I need to gear him down 1 tooth.
Yeah. Might come down to battery at that point, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, we're charging at 20 amps.
Yeah, but I mean, like to discharge them and recharge them and all that stuff.
I know. Bradley Peterson also had a great finish from the 8 to the 4. Ken Peterson was 5th. Chad Ribbenking was 6th. Brent Riley dropped down, unfortunately, to 7th from the 3 spot. David Peevler was 8th. McCormick was 9th. Ashley McCormick. And then Tyler Canine was 10th. Yes. And Filbert led the whole way. So that's pretty cool. I want to get into points real quick since we can for the summer series. And then maybe we'll take a break and we'll get into the chat, talk about this last weekend. There's not a whole lot to talk about. There's only 4 heats. So
yeah. Any good questions or comments?
Yeah, we need some questions or comments. We got about a half hour to kill here. So if you...
How many people are watching?
Right now, there's 23.
Ooh, all right.
So if you are... yeah. Jackson Anderson's got one. Jackson's watching from Texas, probably. Texas. He's down there in Texas.
Yeah, don't mess with him.
Don't mess with Texas. Don't mess with Texas. All right, let's see. Where are we at here? This is always fun to do. All right, so mod 2-wheel drive. Let's start with that one because that one's full in front of me. So we have a not a 3-way tie, but pretty darn close. So Tom Rinderknecht is officially leading the points. I don't know if he's going to make any more of them.
Yeah, at the price of gas, who knows?
Well, I mean, he lives in California.
I know.
Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying though. But I don't. He might make the next one. Well, no, because there won't be a next one before the INS. So basically,
he's coming to INS, right?
He's definitely coming to INS. But anyways, he's got a 101. Vanderbeek and Ethan Delaire both have 100 points. Then, right now it's showing Mason Herrick, Drew Rubin-King, Dave Alberico, who missed a race already because of the oval racing in Kansas City. Riley Filbert, Aiden, and Owen Vanderbeek right now is 10th. And this will sort itself out more when we get that 3rd round in July 30th because right now there's a bunch of ties because we only ran 2 rounds. So 40 plus. Right now I have the lead by... Wow, This is all jumbled up. What page is that? 7? So we need page 8. 4, 5, oh, there's 8 right there. I have the lead by 1 point over Mac. So I have a 101, and Mac has 100 because he TQ'd round 1 and got second. So Tom Smith is third. Brent Riley, Ken Peterson, Dave Peevler, Brian Burnt, David Fast, Brian Cox, and John Berdine right now is in the top 10. We've had 15 different 40-plus guys.
Really?
Yep, which is pretty cool. 40-wheel drive mod has Vanderbeek out in front with a 101. He also had 100 in the first round. Then you got Aiden Olson and Nate Sutherland and Drew Ruben King all tied right now for second because, again, we only ran 2 rounds. Mason Herrick, Tom Rennernack, Ethan Delaire, Owen Vanderbeek, Caden Berdine, and Tom Smith in the top 10 of that one. We'll go to Mini Truggy because that's the next one on my list here. Logan Prismanis has 2 101s. So he's got a pretty healthy lead. If you put the points together, he has 8 points over Matt Robinson right now in second.
Wow.
After 2 rounds. That's a lot. Matt Robinson right now is second. He's in a tie with Tyler Fleming. John Haas right now is fourth. Then Jake Poteet, Ronnie Wint, Jake Wilkening, Caleb Singh, Bryson Pavlo, and Kirk Benson is tied with Jason Haley for 10th. Let's see. Plexspec. This is going to be a fun one because this is all over the place. Grayson Stevie got a TQ and win. So he did TQ round 1. I'm sorry, I misspoke earlier then. Brian Nemec is second. Ariana Smith right now is third. Alex Eichler's fourth. Sawyer Haley and Emily Bagley are tied for 5th and 6th. Isabella McMullen, Mario Quintana, who wasn't there, Levi Voth, and Lily Kaziski right now is 10th. Top 10 gets awards at the end of the year, so you always want to get a 10th out of that.
Yeah.
And we have had...
And you want to show up every round, even if you aren't going to get a top 10.
Yeah, that's true.
You are eligible for giveaways.
Yep. We have had 28 different Plexspeckers so far out of 2 rounds.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
It's cool.
That is pretty rad. Let's see. Expert Stock. Riley Filbert right now is leading. David Peevler and Cole Hendrickson are tied for second. Pat Nowd is fourth. Chad Ruben King, Emerson Sturgeon's 6th. Bradley Peterson 7th. Brent Riley is 8th. Ken Peterson's 9th. And Tyler Canine is 10th. And he is tied. No, he's not tied. Ashley McCormick is 11th. A couple points back, actually. In Stadium Truck, you've got 2 101s. If you were to put the points together, you have 12 points over Tom Smith already.
Really?
Yeah. Tom Smith right now is second. Nate Sutherland is third. Brian Burnt's fourth. Emerson's 5th. Logan Prismanis is 6th. Justin Stevie 7th. Dustin Hosick is 8th. Tyler Fleming is 9th. And John Berdine is 10th. TJ Williams is 1 point back. And that truck is usually TJ's class, so he's going to have a little bit of work to do. Holy crap. This is crazy. So, Pants, am I looking at this right? We have had 52 different 13.5 4-wheel drive racers.
Wow.
Through 2 rounds.
That's pretty cool.
That is crazy.
Imagine if they all came at the same time.
Oh my gosh. I remember thinking that last year for the Winter Series.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
for e-buggy?
For everybody. You start to look at like how many different people have actually come to the Winter Series because you don't eliminate anybody on the list.
Mm-hmm.
And you think to yourself, boy, if all these people decide to come and race on the same weekend,
yeah,
like we won't have any room for anybody.
Yep.
It would have been insane. Independent stock buggies the same way. 46 different racers.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That is amazing. Wow. Did I mention all of them? Did I miss any? I don't think I did.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Mini Truggy?
Already. Yep, we did Mini Truggy.
I can't think of anything else.
So, points, I mean, it's kind of early. It's 2 rounds in. We're only doing 5 rounds this year, so top finishes are important when you're only doing 5 rounds. I remember when the summer series used to be 5 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, usually by the 3rd round, you kind of get a lot of times you can get a, like Stadium Truck right now, you can get a feel. You're like, okay, well, as long as this person doesn't do anything totally stupid or miss the last 2 rounds, you know, they might have it locked up by round 4.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh man, that'd be sweet.
That would be sweet. I used to remember in Mod Buggy when I would win Mod Buggy in the last round, I'm like, you know, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to race 4-wheel-drive mod or something like that.
Yeah, I did that when I won 4-wheel. I just didn't run the last one.
I miss those days. I can't do that anymore because I'm never a sure thing anymore.
Nope, me neither.
Margie, let's take a pivot break, and then we've got some excellent questions in the chat.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah. Dead air.
This is a Pivot Lending Update with David Olson and Don Zoller. Get some.
Hi, this is David Olson with Pivot Lending Group, and today we want to talk about the Lock and Shop program that we brought back to you guys in May. And it's important today because interest rates are on the rise. The Fed is determined that they are going to potentially raise interest rates at least 2 to 3 times this coming year. And within the dynamics of our industry, we have some quantitative easing that's going to be pulled back. So currently, the Treasury has conservatorship over Fannie Mae, and they are purchasing in the mortgage world, mortgage-backed securities at a certain rate, a pretty fast rate. And that purchase program has really helped to create a market for mortgage-backed securities over the last probably decade, and has been one of the big catalysts for driving interest rates down. And it's been announced that not only are they looking to raise interest rates, they're looking to pull back on the purchasing of mortgages, which means that it will be more driven, rates will be driven by the private sector. And inevitably, that means the rate of return that a private investor is going to want over the government right now is going to be substantially higher. In addition to the quantitative easing being restricted or being pulled back, we also have inflation. And so inflation now, decade over decade, we're seeing inflation move out of that transitory conversation and actually hit the kitchen table economics as far as gas, bread, butter. And with inflation comes higher interest rates, higher returns on everything across the financial industry. So between the inflationary environment, the quantitative easing environment, and then the rates in conjunction with the inflation, we're going to be in a different world altogether as far as rates this time next year. So why am I talking about the Shop and Lock program? It allows you to lock in as we see rates moving up dramatically month over month this coming year and even into 2023. You're going to have the ability for $500 to come into our office, complete an application, get pre-approved, and then lock your interest rate, even without finding a home yet. And you'll have 60 days, so 2 months to find a home. Once you find a home, you have 30 days to close on that home. So for $500, we're going to basically give you 90 days to secure that interest rate. We guarantee that we'll close it within 30 days if you can guarantee you can find the home within 60 days. Once we close, or during that closing process, we will give you a lender credit for the $500. We'll take that $500 off of your closing costs so that it doesn't cost you anything out of pocket to lock that interest rate, use that program. If you do not find anything outside of that period, then there's the $500 charge. Now, that being said, some people are going to say, well, in this market, you can't find a house in 60 days. You'll be surprised how many houses, what the inventory starts to look like here over the next 12 months. With the rates going up, the purchasing power is going to go down, and you're going to see people that are sliding outside of those debt ratio parameters or just not qualifying within a higher rate environment. And so there are going to be fewer buyers, And that's going to allow you more time to look at the inventory that's out there. So the positive of a higher rate environment and all the things we're talking about, as well as the shop and lock program, does benefit the folks out there that have been out of the market and unable to find anything or put cash down to be that cash buyer. So we're excited to see the opportunities will be growing for that sector of the consumer market here in 2022. So shop and lock program is fantastic for you guys. Let me know if I can help. Give me a call, 402-881-5951. Shoot me a text. Just make sure that you put your name on there and the best way to reach you, whether it's via text or email. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
David Olson, NMLS 16099. Don Zoller, NMLS 277589. Pivot Lending, NMLS 109995.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
All right, so the chat's opened up a little bit. We're going to get to that here.
So I was just thinking about something.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
So do you remember that Trinity tire goop that was called Zip Free? They
Yeah.
used to have Zip Grip, then they had Zip Free.
Yeah.
It was like the one without wintergreen.
Yeah.
They don't make that stuff anymore, do they?
I don't think so.
God, that stuff was really good on rubber tires. They should re-release that. God, I missed that stuff. Was good, man.
I remember Buggy Grip.
I never thought Buggy Grip was very good at our track.
It
I
wasn't.
remember using Zip Free. Man,
Yeah.
that's some good stuff. I
I
have no idea what that stuff is.
I used Buggy Grip in Chillicothe. And
Yeah.
everybody knew it when I used Buggy Grip, too, because you'd open up the
Oh
can.
yeah,
Woo, that stuff stunk.
yeah, the purple
Yeah, it was so
stuff.
bad.
Yeah, you have like a Buggy Grip hangover the next day. It's great.
Do you remember, it was at the J Concept Sign S race at Mike's that we went through like 10 bottles of Buggy Grip down there?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we were running green tires when that was like the first time that the track had ever gone to taking golds.
Golds.
And
Yeah.
we didn't have any.
We didn't
and
have
so we
any.
were just burning tires off and trying to get as much goop in them as we could. But yeah, man, if anybody's got a lead on an old case
Old
of
bottle of
Zip Free,
Zip Free. I bet you Tim's got some.
he doesn't. I already went through his stuff.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
I went through his stuff the other day. We went over there and looked at his land of misfit tire goop, and some of those are mine that he confiscated.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Tim's a hoarder, man.
or if anybody knows of like Dieter, if you're listening right now, if you know what that stuff is, or hook a homeboy up, I swear not to sell it. I just wanted to use it.
I wanted to go over a schedule announcement really quick. So, I'm building the new track. The Monday, the 27th of June, through Thursday, the 30th of June. So those 4 days, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the track will be fresh and new for Family Friday Off-Road on the 1st. And we'll have a Saturday speed on the 2nd. It's July 4th weekend. We normally don't get good turnouts that weekend at all, ever. The reason why, there's two reasons why. I wanted to give the track a little time to cure this time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have what happened at the ProTech race happen at this race, where halfway through the practice day on Friday, like the track starts to sweat really bad and gets real greasy and weird.
Yeah.
You know, and then nobody knows what to do for tires.
Yeah, it doesn't take too dusty for slicks and too wet for treads.
Yeah.
Like, it's just really weird.
So I'm going to let the track cure a little bit before we start actually running on it on the Thursday on the 7th. But also, I was looking at this and I'm like, oh man, I got to work on the track on July 4th.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry. July 4th is like one of the holidays that I actually enjoy. I get to fly my drone, throw the fireworks. I get to like hang out in the front, you know, watch Emerson blow shit up. I get to watch all my neighbors blow through all this money, just basically lighting it on fire, and then I get to watch it blow up. You know, I get to drink some alcohol in my front. You know, all this in my front yard, basically.
I'm gonna be like the guy we saw down at the what is it, the old market. on the 4th of July. I'm gonna be like,
I thought this was America. No.
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was America. I'm sorry.
For those of you watching, 2 weeks ago, we rode our scooters down. He came up and we were in the studio together. We rode our scooters down here. We stopped at the old market to get something to eat. And this basically naked homeless guy was harassing a whole bunch of people and got the cops called on him. He got arrested for it. But it was so funny. It was really funny.
Yeah. What?
Just more chat stuff. We'll get to it here in a minute. So anyways, so there you go. So the new track will go on the 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th of June. I've really been putting a lot of thought into this one because I want it to be just good. We're going to use the entire track. So the whole thing, including where the dirt oval's at, we're going to be using.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We're going to put back the front straightaway because there was no good way to have what I wanted to do without doing that to get the room. I wanted to have the curvy straightaway for the INS race, but without a crossover, it wastes tons of space. So, there you go. And we're also going to be going the opposite direction that we're going now.
Oh,
well, I shouldn't
that's
say
usually
that.
the norm. That's usually the norm for when we have a straightaway, though. The other way.
Coming down? Because we're going to be going down from the west to the east. We're going to be coming west to east. Yeah, we're going to be going that way.
The opposite.
Yeah. So we've been going east to west, especially for nitro guys. We go east to west for nitro racing, period, because the pitting is a lot easier. Okay. Anything you want to talk about from this weekend of racing?
I got my car working better.
Yeah. I got my B64, dropped everything in it, and I matched my fast lap from the summer series.
Yeah.
I looked it up.
I went faster. I went a lot faster.
The track I thought was pretty good by the end of the day. And I don't know. I got my new car. I liked it. I liked the new car. I didn't change a whole lot from stock. I copied some of your stuff. But that was about it.
Yeah, Brian Burton drove mine after the races. He was like, "Man, I just don't want to stop driving it."
That's how I was last week. I made sure to do that last week.
Oh, my car's even better now.
Like after the summer series, I was like, okay, let me drive your car because I want to make a decision. And I know that if I drive your car and it's not as good as my car, then I'll be like, yeah, I'll be fine. And I drove your car and it was way better than my car. And I'm like, oh crap. All right, fine. Here we go.
Well, the thing is like there's a lot of guys who are like, oh, I don't think it's a needed update. Blah, blah, blah. I know everything about what I'm talking about right now. Well, I'm here to tell you, you don't. Because this car is way better than the old car. A lot of the guys that are saying that it's not as that the old car was or the new car wasn't needed had never even driven the old car, or even owned one. So I think that this one is definitely a decent upgrade if you're looking for a new kit or to update your old one. Like, it's good.
Where I noticed it the most, two things. I can feel the shorter chassis. The car feels lighter on its feet. The 0.3 car always felt weird. When I went from the 0.2 to the 0.3, the 0.3 car always felt like it was dragging the rear end around everywhere. And it was lazy, and it always felt like the rear end was dumping. So I kept throwing stiffer oil, stiffer springs, more anti-squat. I was always trying to keep that rear end flat. And I just felt like I could never get there. The new car doesn't feel that way at all. It feels way lighter on its feet. It feels a lot more responsive without getting squirrely. I also could feel it through the corners. So, it's just such a linear steering response, like you said. It just...
Oh, yeah.
You can tell, and I can push it now. I can push a corner that I couldn't push with the old car and be confident that it would stay put. With the old car, if I pushed it, the front end would get that weird reaction, and it would almost turn itself into a pipe. Where so far, this car doesn't do that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't really catch edges.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it kind of glides. I think it does. But,
so, I was pretty happy
like
with it. I was pretty happy. It was a quick upgrade. I took 2 days to build the car, put all my electronics back in it. I hardly even had to like trim the steering.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, here we go. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yep.
All right, let's get through the comments. We could go through all the race results again, but I mean, we had a decent day. I think we had like 35 on Friday and another 30 on Saturday. It was quick. It was easy. There was 4 heats. Friday night was fun. I got to run Friday because Logan was out of town. So whenever I get to run Fridays, it's always a nice change of pace, just to be kind of hanging out downstairs with all you guys instead of being upstairs, having people with red cats tell me how wrong I am.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right. There's 20 on right now. Let's see. Peter Renault, Steve RC, Ryland's RC on here, Travis Clancy, Mark Schmidt. Ryland RC says he's been to Hobbytown. Steve RC wanted to know what the M and DR10M was. We talked about that while you were taking your pee break.
Oh, yeah.
Nick Nuthouse, another Patreon member, says gas prices suck. We have taken the pontoon out twice this year when we normally would be out 2 or 3 times a week. At this point, it's $100 per trip to go fishing on the boat. Yeah. I had an inside track on a boat. A buddy of mine from high school was selling her granddad's boat. It was a 1976 Lund 2-seater with a trailer, new carpet, 2 trolling motors for like $1,000, like way cheaper than she probably should have. I got nowhere to put it. My wife was like, "Where are you going to put it?" I'm like, "I don't know." Because I don't want to not park in the garage. Like, I love my garage, and I love parking my truck in the garage.
Yeah.
But reading this is like, what am I going to do with a boat? I probably wouldn't be able to afford to take it out. Although it is a trolling motor, so whatever. Mark Schmidt said he got 27 miles per gallon, cost us $70 in fuel last weekend. Jason Haley, another Patreon member, saying no gas required to get my backyard track. The boys have been enjoying it.
Nice.
And that's probably why they're getting so much better, especially Sawyer.
Oh, yeah.
While you were peeing, my sister and I were having a conversation about Disney Plus, and Jason Haley says he hated WandaVision at first, and now he's watched it 4 times over and over and over. See, I thought WandaVision...
Who said that?
Jason Haley.
Oh, Jason Haley.
I liked WandaVision. It was a good show.
I haven't watched it yet. We did watch, was it Moon Knight?
Moon Knight? I like Moon Knight.
Yeah.
See, the
Yeah,
Disney stuff's been decent. I'm sorry, the Marvel stuff's been decent. The Star Wars stuff has been trash, and it's pissing me off. It sucks.
Yeah.
That it's that way. But it's making me
want to
quit.
Is it the same writers as the Marvel series?
No, definitely not. I don't know. I don't know what to think. If it wasn't for the Marvel side of things right now, I probably would definitely be off of Disney Plus a long time ago.
Yeah.
Mark Schmidt says, thanks for the stickers, Will. Did you give him some stickers?
I did, and they're actually some of my own that are like my colors.
Oh, nice.
You wanted some associated stickers. Those are the ones I had, so I gave him some.
Yeah. Jackson Anderson, what watt soldering iron is needed to melt solder off the factory solder wires for speed controllers?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever noticed that? How like the solder on speed controllers is tough to get, the stock stuff is so tough to get off?
Yeah, I think that a lot of it has to do with they get such a good solder on there. Like, it's really on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the speed control is constantly wicking the heat away from the tip.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. You have to have like
you need a cough
soldering
button.
Yeah, I know. I have one. I just didn't use it.
Oh.
It's like you need a really, really hot iron. Like, I use a Heiko 907. It's like a really old Heiko, but like that track power one like that, you can't. There's no way you're gonna do it with just like a plug in the wall Weller.
Yeah.
I
used to get so mad at those speed controllers. I wanted to like break them. So the answer, Jackson, is very hot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you need like a soldering station.
Yeah.
So like there's
You
like
can-
that track. I'm sure ProTech has the actual soldering station.
Nope.
There's huh?
ProTech doesn't
They
make
don't?
one. No.
Which one do you sell at the store? Is
Track
it
Power.
the
It's
Track Power
it's,
one?
it's it's still Track Power. It's still one of the very
Okay.
few things that's under the Track Power brand. Maybe it could be Dynamite now, actually, or Duratrax now that it's now that all that stuff has changed around.
Yeah.
Either way, we've got them, but they're basically soldering stations where you can turn up the temperature.
That's like the new Heiko one.
Yeah,
And then
you
there's
could
like
get Heiko ones too, but the margins on them are terrible.
yeah, there's that Heiko one that is like purple and blue.
Mm-hmm.
There's that LRP one. I have that LRP one. Spencer and Mayfield broke it trying to change the tip on it at the e-buggy Nats that 1 year. And it's just been sitting there broken. I never ordered a new tip for it. I just used it, or the new like cord and everything for it. It was like solder, like the tip was like rusted in there or corroded in there because
Oh.
I'd never changed it before, and we were trying to change it and we ruined it. But I was going to order a new one. I just never did.
Do you have any thoughts about using a 2S 2P lipo?
2P.
Yeah. 2
I
series.
have no idea what that is.
2 series 2 parallel.
What?
So it'd be like
Never heard of that.
It's like a
Who's asking?
Haley.
I was gonna say that sounds like a Jason Haley question. Well, like he's always like so up. He's like more up to date on what's coming out than I am. Like
Yeah.
he'll ask me a question about something. It's like I've never heard of that, and I like look it up. It's like, oh, well, I guess that is a thing. But no, I have no idea. I've never even heard of that, like lipochemistry or that type of battery configuration. So it's like
I wonder
two
if
cells.
I
in
just wonder if it's a
parallel?
way to get bigger capacity.
Yeah, maybe. Huh. I've never heard of that.
I don't know. Have you ever tried green compound ellipses on our buggies at the Plex?
A long time ago, it's usually what we used to run, and then everything went to gold.
Well,
And then we quit.
I ran our Adrenaline RC tires,
Uh-huh.
the greens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big no.
Yeah. No, they just don't work no more.
Those,
Once it took golds in 2014, it
Whoop.
never looked back.
yeah, they weren't good. They were not good.
Mm-hmm.
They're too soft, so they get into every little nook and cranny that our track has, and because of the way our dirt is and the way the heat is during the summertime and stuff, you get those cracks in the track.
Mm-hmm.
So for starters, the rubber's so flimsy that it's very easy to grab that stuff and it just tosses you everywhere. But also, they didn't really hook up that well. I thought they were going to hook up. They didn't hook up at all.
Yeah. No, they're just like too soft, and they just
Mhm.
bitch out.
They just roll
don't
over.
grip. Yeah.
Okay, here's a philosophical question that I actually will tackle because I've been watching these clips keep coming up on my phone and I can't help but watch because that's just what I do. I get easily distracted by things. Monica, Rachel, or Phoebe?
Try Phoebe.
Yeah, I'm Rachel the whole way.
Huh.
It's not even close. Jennifer Aniston was like my original like celebrity love goddess. Still is.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever watched an entire episode of Friends.
Yeah. I don't remember watching the entire episode of Friends, but for some reason I like to watch the clips that come up.
Mhm.
And I'll watch those because a lot of them are like bloopers. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But
I never even thought that show was that funny. Like I just didn't get it. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah.
It's probably because I wasn't in my 20s when that show was on. You know,
Plus-
you know what I mean?
Well, there's two things. There's a couple things that are wrong with that show. For one, how do I put this? Women don't get along with each other.
Oh yeah.
There's no way 3 women would be able to get along with each other for as long of a run as this show has had
And be friends.
and be friends. It's not going to happen. That's one of the first things that's wrong with that show. But then also, I don't know. That's probably the only thing that I always thought was wrong with that show. Although I will say in the 90s, it would have been something I would have known about because I was like a teenager and not very experienced in the ways of life. And then you meet my significant other, and you try to introduce her to my friends that happen to be girls, and that didn't go well. So I just don't. It's just not believable for me.
Yeah.
Steve RC says a lap or two before the end of the Plex A main Saturday, Lily said she thought her buggy was broke, but Alex was right by her, and she said she was not going to pull off. Alex is right by me, and she didn't quit.
Nice.
She's worried about points. Got to get those points in.
Good points.
Will, do you have any product in your mustache? You're looking dapper.
No, I don't. This is all natural.
Yeah, I never put anything in my hair either. Jason says the two of us are looking like hipsters, which I think is really funny because I'm wearing a Reedy shirt. Not sure if I've ever seen a hipster wear a Reedy shirt. But my hair is... I got a man bun ponytail.
We look like hipsters. I'm wearing a Snap-on shirt.
Exactly.
I'm wearing a shirt because I spent enough money to get a free shirt.
Bearing options for the 22T. Not looking for anything crazy, just better than stock. So we've got... Anthony, we can get you these JT bearings that just popped up on A main site. And they've got different levels. So you can do ceramic, which is pretty crazy. That's what I got in my four-wheel drive car, actually. But there's also different levels of bearings. So I guess the quality between the three of them. And there's pricey, middle priced, and then not crazy priced. You can
I should get
also
a set of those for my truck.
Well, can't you also just take bearings, take off the seals, spray them out to get all the oil out of them, and then just
Well,
go with
you're
them?
supposed to get all the grease out of them. That was the thing, like back in the day. But now, like Associated's bearings, they come oiled. They don't have grease in them.
Oh.
So.
Well, I mean, I could tell a difference between my four-wheel drive car before ceramic bearings and post-ceramic bearings. It's about as big of a difference as I could tell between pre-MIP center drives and post, not MIP, mod.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-mod drives and post-mod drives. I could tell a difference there too. So.
Yeah.
I never used to believe in that stuff, and then I'm like, I'll try them. And then I'm like, whoa. Yep.
Whoa.
Whoa.
This is a real thing.
JF Kansas says he's got a case of Teal liquid wrench.
Ooh.
You know who else has Teal liquid wrench?
David Fast.
David Fast, and he brought some with him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Man, I thought about just calling Liquid Wrench. We're like, hello, Mr. Wrench. Bill here. Do you have any of that teal? Like, I want to try it. Try it again.
Mm-hmm. Should have a charity race for Connor on the 4th. Well, the 4th is Monday.
Mr. Wrench will know who I am. He'll be like,
But
please
Connor,
call me Liquid.
I don't know which Connor we're talking about here. That caught me. I'm like, Connor. What happened to Connor? Because Connor Herrick? Rob Connor?
What were we talking about?
Jason said we should have a charity race for Connor on the 4th, but I don't know which Connor we're talking about even. Jason Haley also says factory uses high lead solder, which requires a higher temp. And JF
Who
Kansas,
said that?
Jason. And then ROHS compliance requires lead-free solder. Lead-free solder sucks and doesn't flow like leaded solder.
I thought lead solder melted it was easier to flow, so it was easier to undo. And like when we get a speed control, it has no lead-free solder, and that's why it's hard to get off of there.
I think that's what it says here is leaded solder melts at a lower temp and flows better.
Yeah. I have the solder I have sitting over here is the good stuff. It's lead solder.
Okay. Connor Hausch. I wonder what happened to Connor Hausch. I'll have to text him. Did somebody happen to Connor that I don't know about?
No, his hand from the 4th of July, like a few years ago. It's probably unless something happened.
Oh my God, that didn't even occur. I was like, what happened to Connor? And then I realized, last year he blew up his hand.
Unless
God.
Unless something else happened to him, but we have like a Connor Hausch. Was it pinky and ring finger memorial race?
He blew up his hand. He blew up his hand, I believe it was last year.
Yeah, the 2-digit memorial race.
He's been driving with one hand. And now he got so used to it that's just what he does.
Yeah.
And it's incredible because he drives really good with one hand.
The 2-digit memorial race.
Oh God, that's funny.
Yeah,
Connor,
it's a really good one.
if you're watching, I'm really sorry that we're laughing at your expense, but that's actually a pretty funny
No.
idea. We should. Oh man. Anyways. Emerson just got done with the track. He just posted pictures 12 minutes ago.
Nice.
So.
I got all these front tires mounted too.
Nice. I got to start mounting up rears so we can get them broken in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think that's it. We got to go. I've got a fishing date planned with my son and my and his cousin. So.
Nice.
Guys, don't forget, this show is always brought to you by Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com. Make sure you mention our show to Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad, and get yourself $500 lender credit or 0.125 off your interest rate if you go through with a home loan or refinance. That's kind of a big deal. This show has been brought to you weekly because of that. Scheduling announcement, my sister's actually on vacation next week, so there will be no Monday show, so don't freak out. Don't text me in the middle of the night. Nothing's wrong. We just, they're going to be gone. So we're going to be gone. So we got another Monday off. Whee! And, that being said, I think, is it this weekend or next weekend? Did I work today?
No.
No.
Monday.
Oh, it's only the 13th. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Because next Monday I work anyways, so probably will work out just fine. Oh man. So anyways, just be aware, nothing too major. If you're on Patreon, hopefully we'll be releasing my dad's interview that day. So it'll make up for it. So.
Nice.
Okay. I'm going to bail.
All right.
Nice talking to you. Nice racing to you Saturday. Almost had you.
Yeah, we had a good race.
Yeah, we did. I had you, and then I made a mistake, and then you had me, and
you wouldn't have had me.
I almost had you.
You wouldn't have.
I did.
Yeah, well, almost and had it.
Yeah.
It's two different things, right?
Yeah. Tell Karen hi when you go fishing. I had a Karen. A couple weeks ago. My wife and I.
Yeah.
There's no fishing here, and we're like, well, we're not fishing here, so mind your own business.
Why does everybody keep calling me Karen?
Yeah. Thanks, Karen.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, see you guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Yep, thank you.